is M.A. Dennis. I'm a writer of all different trades. Today, I'm going to share with you a collection of fictional vignettes. I've entitled this collection, All You Cant Eat Buffet. Food for thought number one. No such thing as a free lunch. My name is Kunta, and I'm a diabetic. According to my doctor, if I don't immediately make drastic changes to my diet, I'll probably lose part of my right foot. Well, you can just go on and chop it off now. I'm not giving up my fast food. I've been in love with fast food since Ronald Reagan was president. It wasn't anywhere as accessible then as it is today. It wasn't a franchise on every other block. A trip to McDonald's was an event. Eating my first Big Mac was a rite of passage into manhood. Fast food permeates every facet of my life, even my love life. One of my longest lasting relationships was with a woman I met at KFC, not Kentucky Fried Chicken. I walked right into Kennedy Fried Chicken, went right up to her and said, "Dairy Queen, can I be your Burger King? Move out your Pizza Hut and into my White Castle. Let's spend hassle-free days out back in the Olive Garden playing checkers and dominoes." I hop for joy at the very thought of you giving me your number. Speaking of numbers, on a scale of 1 to 710, you are 711. This lifelong romance with fast food also influenced my first job choice, Roy Rogers. I fried chicken, baked biscuits, washed dishes, flipped burgers, dropped fries, and made roast beef sandwiches. At 14 years old, I was underpaid and illegally overworked. It didn't matter though. For me, it was all about the fringe benefits, free food. So today, our manager, Mr. Leal, introduced a new policy: employees must pay for meals. I was livid and defiant. When lunch break came, I didn't deviate from my routine. I made a customized sandwich: cheeseburger, roast beef, grilled onions, pickles, jalapenos, deep fried lettuce and tomatoes, plus ketchup, all inside an overly buttered biscuit serving as a bun. I found a hiding spot behind some boxes of clarified butter and proceeded to enjoy my free lunch. Mr. Leal obviously had suspicions about my willingness to comply. Why else would he look for me in such an inconspicuous area? He happened upon me in mid-bite and held out his hand. "Give it to me." I kept chewing, growing more disobedient with each bite. I never really had a shot at Employee of the Month anyway. Suddenly, Mr. Leal attempted to grab the half-eaten sandwich out of my hand. Reacting reflexively, I blocked his arm and took off. He gave chase, past the shake machine, past the cash register, and past the free-fixing salad bar, demanding I stop and surrender company property. I kept running and eating straight into the men's restroom. I locked myself in. Mr. Leal banged on the door, threatening to call the authorities. As I finished my final Roy Rogers lunch, it was a revolutionary act against unfair labor practices. Many people's idea of a protest symbol is their Che Guevara t-shirt. Not me. My protest symbol is a sandwich. Food for thought number two. Franks and Peens. Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the conservatory. If it was a stupid-ass game, I could figure things out. But in real life, when it really mattered, I didn't have a clue. Why didn't I find it odd that Mama, who worked 9 to 5 at a fancy advertising agency, is suddenly home all day? Maybe I assumed we were both on summer vacation. What are these weird-smelling, burnt glass pipes under her bed? They smell strange, like the scent that's always in the house now. The one that comes from whatever Mama and my new uncles always boiled in the kitchen. Who are these strange men constantly visiting our house? Mama introduces them as Uncle So-and-so, but they're not my mother's brothers. They go into her bedroom, lock the door, and don't come out for hours. I hear noises, the flicking of a lighter, followed by sucking and blowing sounds. Sometimes I hear fighting over whose turn it is. I had so many questions. When I asked what happened to the VCR, I got slapped for questioning an adult. week later, when the TV disappeared too, I kept my mouth shut and went over to a friend's house to watch Saturday morning cartoons. But his mama's TV was missing too. How did my mama get skinny so quickly? She'd struggle all winter to lose 10 pounds for the summer. Now it looks like she lost 20 pounds in a month. The classic signs were there, yet I had no inkling of what was going on. The revelatory moment came the night I went to cook franks and beans. Mama offered to make it instead. When she served it, what was placed on the table horrified me. A bowl of franks and... Kunta, what's the matter, baby? Why are you not eating? It's your favorite. She didn't get it. The stubbornness of my refusal, the indignation of my posture, right there at the kitchen table. Clarity sucker punched me. Mama got too high. She reached past the Heinz vegetarian beans and took a can of Del Monte green peas out of the cupboard. In earlier times, sages and soothsayers used chicken bones and tea leaves to divine the bigger picture. For me, it was franks and peas. Food for thought number 3. All You Cant Eat buffet. Uncle Lance was my role model growing up. In the late 80s, when I was 8 years old, he became a Muslim in the Nation of Islam. I followed his lead in everything, from drinking raw eggs for bigger muscles to roller skating backwards. Every time I busted my ass, the DJ played Elvis Costello's I Can't Stand Up for Falling Down. So following Uncle Lance into this new religion was no exception. Even though I lived under Grandma's Christian rule, I decided to convert during a Saturday backyard barbecue. As I stood in front of the grill, plate extended, salivating over the succulent spare ribs, I looked over my shoulder and said, Uncle Lance, I'm going to be a Muslim too. As I walked away with my food, he stopped me before my first bite. Muslims can't eat pork. This was unexpected and unpleasant news to say the least. But from the mouths of babes into which pork is about to go come timely replies. I'll become a Muslim on Monday. When Monday came, I did Uncle Lance's Muslim thing. I loved their bean pies. We attended the Brooklyn Temple on Eastern Parkway. I even made a name for myself in the FOI, Fruit of Islam Youth Division, and was given the privilege of preaching short sermons to my brethren. However, it didn't take long for another ethical dilemma to arise. At that time, most baked goods, including my favorite brand Hostess, contained the ingredient lard, which it pained me to learn was a form of pork. How could I give up apple pies, Twinkies, Ho-Hos, and Suzy Q's? I couldn't! So I took the easier route and became a hypocrite. On Sundays from the pulpit, I'd admonish my audience. I know you out there eating that pork! You brothers better stop! Then, during intermission, I'd run downstairs, sneak around the corner to the Utica Avenue bodega, grab a Hostess goodie, sometimes forgetting to pay for it, and devour it. After making sure no incriminating evidence remained, I'd return to the temple, submit to a pack frisk, and rejoin my Muslim brothers. But when they gave me the customary Arabic greeting, my conscience's ears would hear, Assalamu alaikum. And this last one is food for thought number 4. And I'm just going to abbreviate it because I'm probably running that on time. Food for thought number 4. Let them eat cake, but only on major holidays. Uncle Lance, who I told you about, my role model, the one who became Muslim, although he never stopped professing his belief in Allah, at some point he put down his Quran and picked up a crack pipe. Drug use is strictly forbidden in the Nation of Islam, just like stealing and eating pork. I thought they'd help my uncle get clean. I was wrong. Once Uncle Lance's addiction got to the point where he failed to meet his sales quota for bean pies and Final Call newspapers, the nation stripped him of his bow tie. I loved when Uncle Lance came by the house, but not after his sole reason for coming by came to be getting high with Mama. But the only good thing about it was Uncle Lance did stop all those fake uncles from visiting. Eventually, because of the drug activity in my home, I was taken away by Child Protective Services. And this began a long journey of group homes, institutional facilities, and I was always bullied a lot. So I decided to join a gang for protection. The initiation was I had to commit a felony crime with a gun. I took the gun they gave me and went to Queens. I was going to kill the person who introduced my mama to that shit. His name was Ready Ron, a drug dealer. They called him Ready Ron because he would always tell his workers, if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. I wasn't ready when I went into the subway and hopped the turnstile. The undercover detectives grabbed me. They found the gun. I was taken to Rikers Island. It was a bad situation, but there was one good thing about it, the carrot cake. Many people don't know about it, but the best carrot cake in New York is at Rikers Island. It's full of raisins, walnuts, and real vanilla extract, not that imitation shit. But it's only served on major holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So if you ever have the misfortune of being detained at Rikers, the best time to be there is right before the last Thursday of November up until January 2nd of the next year. After that, the next 300 days are a barren wasteland, devoid of the best carrot cake in New York City. But life is all about ups and downs. And after enjoying some Rikers Island carrot cake on Thanksgiving evening, I blew trial on Black Friday. Blue trial means I lost my case. I got sentenced to 7 years. Any sentence that exceeds a year means getting shipped up north. Damn. Rikers was no joke, but now I was going to prison. I started contemplating my defense strategies. I wouldn't shower for 7 years. This way, if they try to take my booty, they won't enjoy the experience. However, me being optimistic, I saw the bright side. I'd still at least get 2 more carrot cake experiences, Christmas and New Year's. But alas, on December 7th, the same date of Pearl Harbor, I got sent up the river. I remember riding on a Greyhound-looking Department of Corrections bus, shackled like a slave going to market, headed up north to West Bubblefuck Correctional Facility, not too far from the Canadian border. There's no carrot cake up there, not even on major holidays. But at least there's free health care. I'll need it after they chop off part of my foot.